Welcome, Love to Eat family. Today we're going to prepare some baked pork chops. And we're going to start off by washing my hands. I like to wash my pork chops off and then lay them out. These pork chops are a little bit thick. I'm going to wash these off. Cut some of this fat off. I'm going to place them over there. I bought these at my local grocery store. Usually it's hard to find them this thick, but over in our area, the grocery store had them already pre-cut, thick like this. And my husband likes thick pork chops, so we do pork chop steaks every now and then. This is one of the times when we're going to do them. After your pork chops are washed, you want to put them on a paper towel. And I like to dry the excess water off of my pork chops. I want my seasonings to stick to the pork chops. And today we're using a variety of seasonings. I'm going to start off by putting little holes in my pork chops. Make sure I can get some of the seasonings down into the pork chop. And we're going to start off with our meat tenderizer. We're going to put a little bit of accent salt on it. Give it some added flavor. And we're going to add some Creole sauce, Creole seasoning. Make sure your Creole seasoning or whatever seasoning you're using is covering the entire pork chop. Then I like to use Mrs. Dash as it adds some extra flavors. Mrs. Dash has a lot of different spices and seasonings to it, so they help add to the flavor of the finished pork chop. Okay, then I'm going to take my container. I'm going to take my pork chops and I'm going to actually flip them over. So I can season the other side. And we're just going to redo the process all over again. Meat tenderizer first. Accent salt second. Creole seasoning. And you can use any type of Creole seasonings, or you can really use any type of seasonings that you and your family love. These just happen to be the seasonings that I use. And then I'm going to take my last pork chop and I'm going to sit it on top. Ms. Dash. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of soy sauce and pour a little bit of soy sauce. You don't need that much. Just enough to kind of cover the pork chop. I use Kikkoman soy sauce. And that's going to help to give it some flavor, some additional flavor. And we're going to let that sit in the refrigerator for about an hour and let that marinate. And then we're going to come back and we're going to finish up and we're going to cook. You don't have to let it marinate, but I just do because I like for my seasoning to kind of sit on my meat for a while. But I have actually seasoned my meat when I'm in a hurry and put them in the oven and just cook them. It's a little bit different flavor. You don't really get all the flavors when you do it that way. So today we're going to take our time and we're going to make sure that it's well marinated. So we're going to come back in about an hour, and then we're going to cook the pork chops, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, now that we've let the pork chops marinate for about an hour, we're going to take those out. And we're going to get those ready. Put in the oven. The oven is set at 400 degrees. And I'm going to take my little grilling pan, which usually every stove, when you first buy a stove, you usually have a grilling pan in your stove. This is the one that I'm using. I'm lining my pan so that the drippings will drip into the foil, which will make it a lot easier for me to clean up. Then I'm going to take a little bit of oil, just some regular vegetable oil or olive oil. I'm going to take that and I'm going to rub some oil across my pan so that my pork chops don't stick to my actual pan. If you don't have a brush, you can just use a napkin. And I'm going to take my pork chops and I'm just going to lay them out. You can position them whichever way that's going to be good for your pan. This one, for some reason, is getting stuck. Okay, now that you have them in position, I'm just going to let them bake in the oven. Make sure you preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And we'll let them bake until they turn a nice golden brown. Now we're going to have baked potatoes with our baked pork chops. And I do this little quick thing with my baked potatoes. I make sure they're washed off. I'll let them get room temperature. And when my meat is almost ready, then I'll come back and I will wrap those and put them in the microwave. So I decided to show you guys the seasonings that I actually used. I forgot to show them to you. I talked to you about them, I didn't show them to you. The Creole sauce, the Creole seasoning, the Mrs. Dash, the cucumber soy sauce, the accent, and the tenderizer. Any kind of tenderizer will do. Okay, so now we're just going to wait for our pork chops to bake, and then we're going to come back. Okay, so now we're back. Our pork chops have been cooking for about 50 minutes. And I think they're ready. Just want them to be nice and brown. So we're going to take these out. And now, while those are ready, I'm going to put on my baked potatoes. I do my baked potatoes a little bit different. I take some wax paper, wet them, rinse them off, and just wrap them up in the wax paper, just like this. And I put them in the microwave for 2 minutes. And then once they get Once it gets down to 5 minutes, then I'm going to turn it over, and it should be ready. And we're going to also have some salad that I fixed to go along with our meal. And this is just some spring mix that you can buy from Walmart. And what I did was I cut up some tomatoes and some cucumbers and added it to the spring mix just to make it look a little bit more appetizing. So all in all, with the prep time being maybe about 10 minutes, prepping is washing off the pork chops and drying them and seasoning them, and then preparing them to marinate. It takes about 10 minutes to prepare. Put them in the refrigerator for about an hour to let them marinate, and then you're going to come and put them in the stove and let them stay in the stove for about 50 minutes, and then take them out and they're ready. So I would say for the whole process with the baked potato, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. That's pretty much it. But your oven is doing all your work for you. So basically the only work you're really doing is your prep time. And that's actually getting your pork chops together. So we're going to take this while we're waiting on our baked potato. And these are the drippings in the pan that I was telling you the purpose for me putting the wallpaper in the pan. Now I don't have to worry about I can just throw this in the trash. In the meantime, I'm going to clean this pan off. The pork chops stay in for 50 minutes because they're so thick. If you have thinner pork chops, you really don't have to let them stay in there that long because they're thin. But because mine were about half an inch thick, I let them stay in for about 50 minutes. I like to get my grill cleaned off as soon after I finish cooking because it makes it so much easier to actually clean. And it gives me something to do while I'm waiting on my potato to get done. And this is just a Brillo pad that you get from the dollar store to clean this off with. Very simple and easy to do when it's still hot. We're going to check on our baked potato. Take it and turn it over and let it finish cooking. Now your pan is all clean, and it didn't take that much time to actually clean it off. So now it's ready to be put up. Okay, so we're going to prepare our plate. Got a little bit of salad. Mark these off so we can get our meat. And you can see the juices from the pork chops, so you know that they're nice and moist because you can see the juices flowing out of them. So they're not going to be dry after cooking them for 50 minutes, so you don't have to worry about that. So our baked potato is almost ready. We have about another minute and 42 seconds. While we're waiting on that, we're going to do a little bit of cleanup. Ready. And you have to be careful because this is very hot. Just to show you, the baked potato is nice and done. And that is your finished product. Your baked potato, your half-inch pork chop, and your salad. And it only took about an hour and 10 minutes, which seems like a long time, but when you think about the fact that you're away doing something else while your oven is doing the cooking for you, the time really isn't that long. Your prep time and cooking time and all of that wind up being less. So this is our dinner for tonight. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and don't forget to like this video. And we'll see you on the next time. Love to eat. Thank you.